If you want to have a full-time yoga career, then it's important that you can make money without teaching classes full-time. I brainstormed 3 ways to make money as a yoga teacher, and I'm here to share them with you today. Option 1, owning a yoga studio. Here's the pros. First, you get to make money without teaching as much yoga. Second, you get to manage a lot of other teachers. Third, you get to create a really big impact in your own community. Fourth, being your own boss is easy, right? Wrong. Owning a yoga studio is really hard work. It's one of the hardest ways that I think you can actually make money as a yoga teacher. There's a lot of studio owners out there who are teaching full time at their own studio. Plus, they're thousands of dollars in debt. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to own your own yoga studio. Here's some of the cons of owning your own studio. First, it's a big financial investment. You have a consistent overhead. Each month you have to make rent, no matter if you have students in there or not. You also may have to make renovations, sign contracts. You have to actually, put money aside for repairs. You need to save money for decorations. You need money for payroll. You need money for marketing. All of these are really expensive. So it's a huge financial investment. And the payoff for a yoga studio can sometimes be years. I know a few yoga studios who are still recovering from some of the debt that they've put into their studio. That's the second con. You are the constant sub for your yoga studio. When I used to manage and run a yoga and wellness program, I was the constant sub for everyone. If someone couldn't make it, guess who had to fill in? I was teaching more than what I would normally teach. You are the constant sub. Just because you build something doesn't mean people will come. You still have to go out and network and market and try and pull people into your yoga studio. Owning a yoga studio is not just passive income. It takes a lot of work. It is still a full-time job, and it's very location dependent. For me personally, I want the freedom to travel and go on vacations and maybe even move if I want to move. Whenever you own a yoga studio, a lot of that goes out the window. You may be able to take your vacations if you put a manager in place, but moving doesn't really happen. It's a lot harder. So I want it to be more location independent personally. Owning a yoga studio is a full-time job that will require you to be present and constantly hustling. For me, that wasn't the option. So I came up with option number 2, teaching yoga online. Pros: make good money as an affiliate or brand ambassador. I have time and location freedom. And I can make a bigger impact in people's lives because I have a bigger audience. Cons: very, very slow growth. It doesn't happen overnight. The yoga teachers that you see that are successful online have been working at this for maybe over a year before they started to get a return on their investment. It's very slow growth. Second, there's a lot of technical pieces involved. And for me, I didn't understand a lot of the technology. So there was a really big learning curve as well. This is currently an option that I'm working on, but it's a very slow model for myself. I'm giving myself lots of time to learn how to market, to learn the technical pieces, and to slowly grow this online business. But I still needed to make money, next month. So what is another option for me? Option 3, yoga workshops, yoga teacher trainings, events, retreats, and conferences. This is personally how I've created my yoga business and how I recommend most yoga teachers start to build a sustainable yoga business. Pros of this: you can start making money right away. You can offer a workshop next month and make money from that. You'll start to be seen as an expert within your community. There's also less time spent teaching weekly classes, which is what I really needed as I transitioned from my hip surgery. Cons: it can be a lot of weekend work. Yoga teacher trainings require you to be there on the weekends, and it's a big time investment. Cons: you also have to specialize. If you haven't been teaching yoga for a while and you don't have a specialty, then this is going to take a little bit more time. You must specialize and find your niche before you can really start offering your events. Finally, all of these options still require a lot of business skills. You still have to learn how to market and price your workshop and run your retreat. So there's a lot of business skills still involved. But I knew that I would be able to learn these and I could see a return on my investment a lot faster. Teaching yoga workshops is a great way to make income as a yoga teacher. You're able to specialize, niche down, and create more income with less teaching hours. So your return on investment is huge. But a lot of teachers have a million ideas in their head and they don't know how to narrow down the ideas for a workshop, much less how to price the workshop or even how to create the content. I've created some other videos so you can start to narrow down the ideas in your head. You can figure out how much you need to charge, you can find a location, and you can start to offer your first yoga workshop. Yoga teacher trainings are another great way to create revenue, especially if you live in a place where there aren't a lot of yoga teacher trainings. I started to offer a lot of yoga teacher trainings in North Dakota, where there weren't many other options for people. Now, I won't lie to you. If you live in a really saturated market where there's a ton of yoga teacher trainings, then this may not be a great option for you. But you can maybe teach yoga immersions, and these are an incredible way to create an impact in your community while generating more income for you and your business. Yoga immersions are mini workshops, and they require less time commitment than a yoga teacher training, which may help you actually bring in more people. So check out some of my articles about yoga immersions and start to create your first one today. Yoga retreats are another great way to build your yoga business and create a really good, strong yoga following, especially if you can do a lot of the work yourself. Now, I won't lie to you, it can get really expensive to offer a retreat. So if you're interested in this option, then I suggest that you set up a realistic budget. And just remember, a yoga retreat doesn't have to take an exotic trip to Italy. You could do a yoga retreat up in the mountains for a day or a weekend. We don't have to make these huge time commitments. Maybe a yoga retreat is simply just a short weekend up in the mountains. This will make your yoga retreat a lot more affordable for people, and it'll give you a good taste on how you can start to offer more retreats. Finally, yoga conferences and events are a great way to make income and create a huge impact in your community. Yoga conferences have increased my visibility and even helped fill my yoga teacher trainings. I even create a profit from every yoga conference that I run. They are a lot of work and you may be intimidated by them. But if you're a great planner and you enjoy logistics and you just need help with some of the business skills, make sure that you reach out to me and I would love to help you run your very first yoga conference or event. You may be intimidated by workshops, trainings, and events, and I get it. I was too. If you're interested in creating a more sustainable yoga business through workshops, teacher trainings, retreats, events, or conferences, then make sure you join our Facebook community, Yoga Teacher Talk. We are a group of yoga teachers who are trying to create a bigger impact in our communities and run a profitable and sustainable business. Join us and let us know what struggles you're facing as a yoga teacher, and together we can help support and enhance the yoga community around us. Thanks, y'all.